Hello, I'm Gavin Phillips. I became interested in HDR about 4 years ago after I tried it and was impressed with the results. From my many years of teaching Photoshop, I knew that you could not get the same results by working a single raw image in Photoshop. Now we have Photoshop CS6 and the same holds true. It's a simple fact that you cannot get the same detail and the richer look of HDR from a single image as you can merging the data from 3, 5, or even 7 images. Since then, I've invested a large amount of time experimenting with different HDR techniques to be able to create the type of images that clients like for commercial work. On the artistic side, images that I like. In your HDR class, I emphasize starting your HDR winners as more natural looking images, but still retain the benefits of HDR. Then we go in different creative directions, with certain shots using all the creative power of Photoshop and plugins. I very rarely use HDR-specific software to apply different effects, as they are very limited in this regard. Each week, you will take different HDR shots in different locations: landscape, architectural, interiors, and night HDR. In at least a few shots, we want people in the shot standing still or moving very slowly. I will show you how to remove the slight movement of people in HDR images. This is important as it opens up the use of HDR beyond static scenes. The wedding photographer can shoot a few select HDR at the church during the vows. This allows you to show perfectly lit church interiors that would otherwise be impossible. HDR is one of the most misunderstood photography techniques. When it is done properly, you will see that there are enormous advantages for your photography and art in certain situations. Lesson 1. Camera Setup. Workflow and shooting HDR landscapes. Camera setup: always shoot RAW. The RAW format is better for HDR than JPEG. I have compared sets of JPEG and RAW of the same scene and processed them in Photomatix and Artisan. The results are better with the RAW images than the JPEG. Auto exposure bracketing mode. Put your camera into the auto exposure bracketing mode. This allows you to run off a sequence of shots at different exposures by simply holding down the shoot button. It will depend on your camera as to how many you shoot in a sequence. Most DSLR cameras offer you up to 1-stop increments in bracketing mode. Some DSLR cameras allow you to go up to 3-stop increments. You would only ever go to a maximum of 2-stop increments. This gives you the most flexibility.